Good evening, guys. So I suppose most of you guys are not cricket fans then? Am I right? No, everyone's a cricket fan, and but more interested in stock market than money, I suppose. So I just had an idea, not an idea, but it was already on the cards that I need to make a video explaining people about my Khela Hobe indicator, which is not going to be live anywhere except for HPA, right? So if anyone wants to get that, which itself is more than what my HPA subscriber annual subscription is. I mean, for now, before before the next year hits, right? So Khela Hobe candle. So let's get into it, right? So this is this particular candle would be the Khela Hobe candle, and you go to indicators, you go to Khela Hobe. Okay, right now only I am using it, and you let it'll pop up here. Okay, so this is a multi-purpose candle, a multi-purpose indicator, and this indicator there, it's actually a one in all indicator because I have made this in keeping in mind the majority of people who does not have a premium subscription to TradingView like me. I have a premium subscription to TradingView now, but many of the beginner traders who first of all are very new to charting itself, they will not be able to pay for a premium subscription. And since TradingView has now restricted the free trading indicators to only two, I thought that I would make I would I would use that to my advantage and make a super uh, indicator, which is basically a Khela Hobe candle, right? And this is mostly for everyone, but more so for swing and positional traders. And let me now walk you through each and every bit of uh, each and every indicator which is inside the Khela Hobe indicator, right? So first, let's go. So this is a triple B buy and triple B pro buy, right? So a very good example of this would be BSE. So you guys all know that I the only magic indicator available for the Indian stock market is my triple B indicator, which is basically BBB, buy before breakout. Okay, so just going to play let's say BSE, and you can play it from very below also. So this purple sort of square in below is the triple B indicator. So what triple B indicates is uh, it indicates a candle which is about to break out. Okay, so for example, you see that on this day triple B appeared. So triple B basically appears within the base. So generally the one horizontal line breakout people or general people who basically buys breakout would say that 1360 के ऊपर breakout आएगा, right? But triple B appearing gives you a confidence key that okay, this base is a very constructive base, and and that the breakout might come very soon. It basically alerts you if you're already following a pattern that triple B occurring would basically say that the breakout is very near. So for example, in this case, if you see tuck tuck appeared twice, it appeared here and then fuck, it appeared here and chuck, you know? And so then what happens is you see the next day breakout happened, there's a pocket pivot also candle and stuff like that. Okay, so that is the number one uh, stuff. And I have two kind of indicators, one is triple B and one is triple B ultra pro max, and both of them are basically tell you the same thing. So I have labeled them using same color. You can change the color if you don't like purple. Okay, you can also put it on top of the bar, um, or in here, like on top of the bar. You can do, yeah, here various things, but I like below bar. Okay, um, below bar. Okay, so that is the number one, and that, yeah, that is already the utility is really good. The next thing I have is, you see, this is called triple B plus quarterly earnings. Now this quarterly earnings you can also find as a standalone this one from good friend of mine, Nitin, finally Nitin, and basically shows you EPS, percentage change of EPS, sales and sales change, um, and that is there. And you can choose to not see this. So if you unclick this, this table will now disappear. Okay. Um so that is also built in here, but we definitely want the earnings table, right? So earnings table is in. Did someone have a question? Because I heard tudung sound. Would love to know the criteria of B. Of course, Parth, you love to know, but there is already a lot of free articles I've written on the technical take. Just go and type search BBB or Khela Hobe. You'll get a lot of articles. And I'm not a big proponent of not giving providing information. I am not a big proponent of uh, gating information. So if you really want to do this all by yourself, you can actually make triple B. You can make this indicator by yourself. You can make the Khela Hobe. In fact, the scanner where the partly Khela Hobe is based, which is the BVHB, is with everyone on Twitter. Okay, so so yeah, so I really am very big on sharing information, although I share this information in uh, uh, really, what is the word, uh, a different way, but I do share everything, all of this free. Okay, let me make that absolutely clear. So earnings table is there. That's the second thing. Now the more important is my this table, which is basically the uh, here. So the first one is basically ATR. So ATR value right on top of the chart is very good, because in general swing trader would like to trade a stock which moves at least for more than 3% a day. So ATR basically, which is average true range, tells you that on an average, whatever average I've used 10 days or 20 days, I think it moves at 4.8%, which means that बहुत जाएगा. Imagine if it moves like 10 days, so 10 into 4.8 is 48% move in 10 days, right? Whereas you wouldn't want to trade something like Reliance, right? So Reliance moves at about 1% per day. So tell me, as a swing trader, which one would you prefer? You would definitely prefer the other one, right? So this number helps me very much to sort of take a trade, and so this is very nice. BBW. Now, BBW is not what you are thinking here, right? So BBW is not what you're thinking here. It's actually Bollinger Band width, right? So if you see, Bollinger Bandwidth is a very nice proxy to measure the tightness in a stock. So for example, let's say, let me just take you to just simple this one. So for example, if you see Thangmail Jewelers, so is this region a tight region? Like how is the tightness? So if you are, if your eyes are not ready for this, you just see that the Bollinger Band, not this way. So if you see the Bollinger Band width right now is 9.28. So in this case, in this area where the tightness was not so much, the Bollinger Band width was 27%, right? And in tight areas, it becomes less and less. So now, as the tightness increase, the BBW, sorry, as the tightness gets more and more tighter, the BBW also gets more and more tighter. Okay. So one example, let's go through some examples. So um, um, yeah, so this one just broke out. So for example, this, right? So in here, Atul Auto, you can see that this ilaka is very tight. So you see the BBW is less than 10%, 5.39. So this is also a very nice, like, thing to say, okay, this is getting tight, right? I mean, of course, these are price action characteristics, and as a trader, you should be able to already tell just by looking at the candles. But if you are not, like, so who am I helping? Beginner traders. I'm trying to facilitate stuff for them, or people who are fundamental investors and would like to, like, use a little bit of price action in their game. So BBW is very nice, and then the breakout from a tight area can then be traded. Now R wall basically stands for relative volume, right? So volume, as I mean, everything is relative. Like someone in the group was mentioning 80 plus high tide flags in the country, bro. Like 80 plus is what? Like, you know, 80 is just an arbitrary number. Why not 8? Why not 800? So similarly, R wall is also a relative measure of like how high the volume is, right? So what we are measuring here is relative of the volume, this volume today, how much is it relative to the last 10-day ka moving average volume, right? So this is quite low, which means 10-day moving average se bhi kam hai. But if you go to something like BVHB candle, the Khela Hobe candle, right? So you will see a lot of names. So if you the ones which appeared so Friday, our vol is 368%, means that today's volume is 3.6 times than the average 10-day volume. So what does this tell you about the interest in the stock? That the interest is very high, correct? So, for example, let's give you another example. Happiest Minds. So I was very interested to buy this stock because this guy just broke out of this one. So now you see volume is 304%. R vol means that three times more than the 10-day moving average. So which one's the 10-day moving average? You see this white color, white line. This is my 10-day moving average. So you see everything is systematic in here, like, you know, and everything has a has a reason why it is there. And so always when you are trading breakouts, things which are breaking out on high volumes, and you can clearly see, okay, R wall, although that is already visible to you, but still like a quantification of things will help you more sort of systematize your trading, correct? um, okay, no more questions. Great. So, so I was explaining this. So R wall. Now this one is another peak thing, like PEAK, right? So this is why a peak thing, because extension. I measure the like if you say, okay, as a swing trader, you will have to sell your stuff somewhere, right? If things are more extended very quickly. So for example, something like IRFC. IRFC got really extended like here from this. I mean, I I did not I bought Khela, I bought one day before Khela Hobe candle in this, and then after I bought it came, but around this time it became more and more extended, right? So how I judge this is that um, what is the price, what percentage is the close price from the 20 SMA, right? So now let's bring an SMA here. So SMA, this yellow color is my SMA. So on this candle, on this candle, this yellow candle on top tells me that, hey bro, it is getting extended. Okay, I mean, again, what I'm using is I'm using 7 times ATR. Okay, so for example, from the 20 moving average till the price high, this is 27% extended. Okay, so what X is to, how many times is 27% from the ATR? Now, why is this important? Because let's say there is a stock called Reliance which moves 1% a day, you know, and let's say it is 77 times, like it is like 10% above the 20-day moving average, and that is not much away from that is actually just 10%, but it's actually not 10% looks very small, but it's actually a very highly extended stock, because we know that it only moves 1% a day. Uh, for someone like, for a stock which is moves more than 3-4% in a day, if a stock then moves 10%, that is only twice the ATR, right? How extended? So that is why extended as a function of its own ATR is really good indicator of extendedness. So in this case, this is already 7 times. So that you can also then correct. Like for example, if you um, so yeah, so ATR is 10, and then R wall is also 10 SMA. So extend extension indicator is moving average 20. So I like to see extension from 20 moving average. So if you are someone who is like little different, like positional trader, you can then use say 50 moving average. So 50 moving average, 50 SMA से कितना extended है, and you can then use like okay, I think I will be a little more वो, तो 5x from 50 moving average is only I will see extended. So in that case, all of this will fire. So you also then have to put such a number which sort of makes sense, okay, as a swing trader or um, as a positional trader. And in my opinion, I mean, this is just my particular opinion, that 7x sort of makes sense. um, so let's say, for example, names like the insurance names which had actually, let's go and look at the Ambani names, okay, which are now probably quite extended. So you see देख रहे हो ब्रो, इस दिन आ गया ना एक्सटेंडेड बोल के, उसके बाद नेक्स्ट डे से ये नीचे चला गया, मतलब तगड़ा है नंबर, तगड़ा है नंबर, ढूंढ के निकाला है. See, यहाँ पे इधर, I mean, this here would have sold a little early, but again, that's how it is. Like you have to have to maintain a balance, right? 27%. But by and large, it sort of gives you an indicator that ये थोड़ा extended है. अडानी पावर में probably ये नहीं आया अभी, ट्रांस में probably आ गया, right? So this is a very nice sort of indicator. Again, it's not like a hard and fast वो कि नहीं ये बत्ती, येलो बत्ती जला तो मैं आई विल सेल, ऐसा नहीं है, ठीक है. I see that there are some questions. Can you explain bucket pivot concept? Bro, Vishal Nagpal, just use Google for this, okay? And if you don't understand, I will give you 5 minutes of my time. But these are things which is very readily explainable by Google. So please do that. So that is my 1, 2, 3, fourth. M cap, M cap तो सबको पता है, market cap. Now free float is very important. Now market cap is not like a very true measure of how much available shares are there, but float is. So float money, if there is a company which has 100 shares, all 100 shares are not readily available to trade every day, because the promoters are not selling, the HNIs are not HNIs, the fund, the FIIs, they will not be, their shares will be like not be circulating in the market. So there will be like very small amount of percentage of stocks which are actually floating in the market. So that is very important. Now the lower the number of stocks, that means that the prices might move fast, very faster, right? So generally then, as a swing trader, I try to only go after free floats, less free float wale stocks. And that is why also so many PSUs they have moved, because supply is constricted, because most of it is held by the government of India, and that's why huge moves up and huge move downs as well. Small amount of supply demand will be able to shift the price higher or lower. Now, and then the last two is basically which group or sector this stock is. So Adani Energy is in electrical utility apparently, but again, this is like not all the time very accurate, because it's not accurate, right? But you can see that others sometimes, like Anup Engineering, Industrial, Genus Power, Electronic Equipments, Instruments, Wari, alternate power generation. So pretty much accurate details data hai. And these are all very important for you to see. So for example, I am someone who tracks sector rotation, stuff like that, very closely. So then when I see that there is something which is not from a sector that is in a downtrend right now. So for example, right now I wouldn't be buying sugar stocks, right? So if I see like, oh yeah, sugar hai, sometimes again, that even if it is a sugar stock, the name will not be suggestive of that. So for example, Triveni Engineering, for the longest period of time I was thinking that it's an engineering company, but because of here it will say sugar, and then I'll know it's sugar, right? And so this is a very nice, this one, utility. The next utility is um, so pocket pivot. Like so pocket pivot basically tells you uh, pocket pivot is a price. So pocket pivot here is indicated by blue colors. Okay, so pocket pivot will is a candle which has a daily range of daily move of more than 3%, and the volume is higher than the red volume in the last 10 days. Okay, so for example, this was also a 3-day more change, but you see this volume is not higher than this red volume, you know. So that is why this is not a pocket pivot, whereas this is a pocket pivot wherein this is a pocket pivot wherein it is more than 3%, but also the volume is higher than the any last 10-day candle. And sometimes what happens is that uh, not all breakout happens from BVHV, but it also happens from pocket pivots. Okay, so for example, if I show you today's, I mean last Friday's pocket pivot names, you will see. So this small breakout sort of happened in pocket pivot. I don't know why this is not showing. Sometimes there is a small woe. So you see this Rupa, this is a pocket pivot as well as a Khela Hobe candle. Uh, B, you see BLC, this breakout and this pullback confirmation candle also was a pocket pivot candle. So pocket pivots are a very nice way to also catch the start of bullishness. Okay. um, so a couple of more examples. WebSol was pocket pivot candle के साथ is um, this breakout happened, right? So yeah, so this breakout. I mean GSPL sort of broke out also on a pocket pivot candle. So that is one more utility of this. Um, and there are two more important things. One is a DCR and one is HVE HVY. So what I like, if you see my this one, you will see that here I have this also allows you to see if any volumes were like HVY or HVA. Okay, let me go to my flag list just to show you this. PQRS. So actually, so if there is any highest volume ever candle or highest volume in a year candle, it will be depicted just below the candle. So if you see Cupid on this day when it broke out of this flat base, this was also I think a very nice high tide flag. So this is almost 100%. And then we had a very nice mast, and then the breakout happened. The breakout happened with highest volume ever, like ever. Like Cupid में इतना ज़्यादा वॉल्यूम कभी नहीं हुआ था on a single day. So what does this mean? This means that this breakout is very high probability. This breakout is also breaking out from a very tight range. And the another thing, if you've noticed, you see that there is a number, so 97.91. This is DCR, meaning if you have a candle, whatever, how much ever big or strong, small that may be, what was the closing? Did it close at the top? If it closes at the top, this will be 100%. Did it close at the bottom? If it closes the bottom, it will be 0%, right? So anything which closes at the top 80%, above 80% of the candle is good. This one closed 97.9%. What does that mean? This means like it is amazing. Like you see, Veranda Learning Solutions. This is a great flag breakout. Matlab, if you guys have not read the 7 characteristics of a perfect flag, I don't know what you are doing in my stream here. I Yeah, I wouldn't have to say that it is very useful, because it is. So you see, this is the highest volume ever candle. Means veranda learning may, who will create this much candle? Who will create this much volume? You, me? I don't think so. So what does this tell you? And sometimes even if you miss this, the Khela Hobe candle indicator will not allow you to miss it, and it will tell you ki bro, this is high. Okay. Let me show you the names which I really like. Niakal. Niakal is a high tide flag right now. HVE. Highest volume ever. Who, and that also started with a Khela Hobe candle here. But forget about it. Who will create this? Is it you or me, right? So those are the things that the 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 indicator will help you. Uh, the thing is, even if you miss, my indicator is not going to allow you to miss it, and that's the utility of my indicator. And at last, uh, the Khela Hobe candle itself will be in white. Okay, so this means that it is breaking out of a big base and a tight range. So that's all about uh, the 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 indicator. And let me tell you again that this will only be available to my community, which is a paid community, Homma Private Access. It's a very cheap subscription model right now, um, um, until next year. Okay, if you guys have any questions, I will take them, or else let's go to watch football. No, cricket.